One of Britain's oldest and most prestigious universities will take part in a controversial vote this week. Students from Oxford University will decide on whether to introduce a motion to boycott Israel. The vote is scheduled for Wednesday, February 27th. If the motion is passed, it would mean the subject would be debated further at the National Union of Students. The idea has been debated heavily throughout the university.
I think it is quite a controversial motion, and I think based on my kind of limited conception of the different JCRs voting for or against it, I think it's unlikely to pass on Wednesday. But it was introduced by an individual member of the student union who felt strongly enough to put this forward. And I think it's fair enough that individuals can introduce their own opinions and then it would be voted on as a whole body. And so my personal view is that there's quite a heavy turning against it, because we don't really see the role of our student union as being political in a foreign sense, and I think that's probably the general opinion.
I think it's really odd that the student union is even debating a motion like this. I mean, we're debating about whether to affiliate ourselves with an organisation that has been cast as anti-Semitic, whose stated aims are anti-Semitic under the EU's definition of anti-Semitism.
Both the proposer and seconder of the motion have been criticised and have received threatening emails. The news comes after a tumultuous week in which George Galloway, a Member of Parliament, made a speech criticising Israel. The following footage shows him interrupting a speech made by Aslan-Levy, a student at Oxford and a fellow panel member.
We wanted peace, we got war, we mustn't make the same mistake again. So my first point: only a peace treaty can provide a framework for enduring peace and security.
Really?
I'm sorry, Mr. Galloway?
You said we. Are you an Israeli?
I am, yes.
I don't debate with Israelis. I've been misled. Sorry.
What? Racism?
I don't recognize Israel, and I don't debate with Israelis.
Aslan spoke to JN1.
As far as I'm concerned, it's an act of pure racism. I think to refuse to speak with someone purely on the basis of their nationality is racist, and it's bullying. Mr. Galloway knew that I was going to be speaking against him and that I wasn't going to be agreeing with him. The only thing that made a difference when he decided to storm off was the fact that I am an Israeli, and more than that, that I'm a Jewish Israeli. I dare say he wouldn't have stormed off if I'd been an Arab Israeli. He wouldn't have stormed off if I hadn't been Israeli but expressing the same opinions. The only thing that made a difference was that I am an Israeli. And I'm deeply disappointed that Oxford has been debating an academic boycott on Israeli universities. I think it is an outrageous assault on intellectual freedom for students to demand that their university stop cooperating with academics from another country simply because of the country that they're in, regardless of whether or not they support their government's policies. I think it's deeply, deeply disappointing.
The Oxford University Jewish Society has also criticised the vote. Depending on the results of the vote, the motion would be tabled at the National Union of Students Conference in April. This is Celestina Olalode for JN1 in Oxford.